back at the spectacular Barossa Valley Wine Company, where I've been pairing some of their fine Shiraz with a few of my favourite recipes. Here at the vineyard, they also produce fantastic Cabernet Sauvignon, lovely black cherry, black currant flavours to it. And because of its powerful tannins, it pairs really nicely with some fatty lamb. And here in the Barossa, they also produce gorgeous grass-fed lamb. And I've got my hand on some local lamb here. You can see these cutlets, they've been Frenched, which just means that the bone has been tidied up. They're fantastic grilled, but they're even better when they're crumbed and fried, and I'll be serving it with a yogurt sauce. So let's get the heat on. I've just got a little bit of oil here. I want this to be shallow fried, so you want at least 1/4 cup of oil in your pan, just so we get a beautiful even colour on our crumb. So while that's heating up, we can start crumbing. And I always like to say, get everything prepared, start a bit of a production line. So we've got some plain flour, going to add some pepper to that, and some salt. And I'm not going to accentuate any flavours in the crumb. I want to keep it super basic because the flavour is going to come with that dipping sauce, that yogurt dipping sauce. In the eggs, we do need to season them. So again, a bit of pepper, and just with a fork, give that a really good whisk. And if it's looking a little thick, you can add some water, even some milk works. That's fine. And some crumbs. Now you can use some panko crumbs, but I hate wasting bread. So whenever I've got a little bit of leftover sourdough, what I like to do is dry it out and then place it into a food processor, and you can make homemade crumbs. Now to crumb. So I like to just hold it by the bone. I don't want to put any crumb on the bone. We're going to add some flour. Okay, coat it really well. And you want to shake off the excess, just lightly flour that. If you've got too much flour on that, it almost becomes slightly doughy as you eat it. It's all about that crumb. So we just want that essentially to dip into our egg, which is going to be like the glue for our crumbs. Okay, we'll shake the excess off that too. And then into our gorgeous crumb. Now press that in. Now, if you want your lamb cutlets to be extra, extra crunchy, all you need to do is place it back into the egg, coat it again, shake the excess off, and then into the crumb. Double crumbing, nothing beats that. Press it in. And this oil is hot enough so we can start frying. Now, I like my lamb cutlets to be pink inside, so you don't want to overcook it. Have a little bit of paper towel on the side. We'll fry them. Once they're golden brown, they'll come out, and we can keep cooking these in batches until they're perfectly cooked. Look at these golden, crispy lamb lollipops. Gee, they look good. And they're going to taste even better when served with a really fresh sauce. So yogurt, sumac, and preserved lemon. These two ingredients are a must in my kitchen because they give so much flavour from such a little amount. So you only need 1/4 of a preserved lemon skin. So you don't want the flesh. That's really salty and slightly bitter. So I've removed the flesh, and we want it in just a small dice. You've got to be careful with preserved lemon. If you add too much of it, it can tend to be soapy, and that's not a nice characteristic. But a small amount is a wonderful lemony perfume, and that's why I love to pair it with the lamb. And we'll pop that into our Greek-style yogurt, just a few tablespoons. Sumac. Sumac is actually a berry. It's been dried and it's turned into this gorgeous powder, and it's got almost like a tomatoey flavour to it. I absolutely love it. We also need to season this, so some salt, and lamb and mint, well, they're best friends, so we just need a little mint. Pick the leaves off, and I'll just roughly chop it. Perfect. In it goes. Give it a quick stir, just to loosen up that yogurt and get it quite smooth. And if you have time, do this maybe 1 to 2 hours before you cook your lamb, because those flavours will really marry together and taste even better. And I don't like to sort of smear this on the plate and then pop the lamb cutlets on top. It's kind of a shame because they're so crunchy. If you put that on the bottom, they'll go a little soggy. We don't want that. We want them to stay extra crispy, particularly because we've double crumbed. And I'm gonna add, just for me, 3 lamb cutlets. And that's served with a garnish of mint and the Cabernet Sauvignon. This is a match made in heaven. A juicy red and juicy lamb. That is Barossa on a plate.